We begin at 5 with heat, haze, and fire danger. Temperatures closed in on triple digits today around Portland, setting a new heat record. There's also a red flag warning in the region, along with some wildfire smoke that's wafted in from Canada. Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko. We have a lot to get to this evening, but the good news, relief is now on the way. Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino starts us off with the latest on the heat in our first forecast. Matt.
Can't come soon enough. It is just cooking out there. We are in the upper 90s, Portland at 97. That is a new record for the day, breaking the old record from 2015 when we topped out at 96. And keep in mind, yesterday was the second hottest 4th of July we've ever had. We just missed out on the record there by 1 degree. Yes, it's dry, 16% on the humidity. And again, here's a partial list of some of the records that have already fallen today. And these will be updated because these were only up through 4 o'clock. So 97 Portland, Vancouver 95, Eugene's already made 98, probably 99 or 100 by now. Hillsborough, McMinnville. Also, all of these are breaking records. And we'll see many, many more throughout Western Oregon this afternoon. So it will be cooler tomorrow, but still near 90, 92. But hey, that's better than 97 and 99, right? As we go into Friday and the weekend, 80s for highs, and there's still no rain in the forecast other than coastal drizzle, which of course fire managers would love to see that, but it's just not in the offing just yet. Now, along with the heat advisory, which expires tonight, and the fire weather warning, which also expires later tonight, we now have an air quality warning because of the haze and the smoke that we have over Western Oregon and the Willamette Valley. So that's not fun either, but the air quality should begin to improve later tomorrow and into Friday. There's the fire weather warning. Look at the wind forecast here. They're going to switch. They've been calm. Firefighters have had a break, but now later tonight and especially tomorrow night, westerly winds 17 to 25 miles an hour in Hood River and across Underwood where the Tunnel 5 fire is burning. Guys.
We look forward to more info later, Matt. Thank you. A homeowner in Clark County says fireworks are to blame for setting her house on fire last night. It happened in the Felida area and did extensive damage. Tim Gordon is in Felida for us with the details. Tim, this is something a lot of folks worry about happening every 4th of July.
Yeah, and sometimes it does, Laurel, for sure. You know, this fire station that we're standing at isn't far from where the home burned, but the District 6 crew that's out of the station was already out and about last night, just going call to call like so many crews were. So firefighters did converge on that home, though, and were able to keep it from being a total loss. Let's show you some of the damage, though. It's pretty extensive. There's plenty of it there in the front of the home, including the master bedroom, ruined, really, and smoke and water damage throughout, upstairs and down. Rexanne Workala says fireworks were nonstop last night from the neighborhood next door, with the wind pushing them her way, first torching the arborvitae, then her home. Workala's lived here for 30 years. She and her husband raised their family here, and Rexanne has rescued and fostered many hundreds of needy cats and some dogs too over that time. She got a passion for that work and is well known for it. Last night, 13 cats and 3 dogs were caught up in that fire, and thanks to her, Good Samaritans and firefighters all made it out alive.
I only wanted those animals out of that house. I just, I put too much time, too much money that you can't afford. And you know what? I have people that help me in the animal world, but I'm not going to let them burn. I wasn't going to let them burn. No. And they didn't.
And they did an emotional time for sure, though. So now to the investigation. The Clark County Fire Marshal's office will be in charge of that. No doubt there's going to be an insurance company looking to see if there's any liability on anyone else's part in this fire. Back to you.
We are so sorry this happened to Rexanne, but you can see her big heart when it comes to her animals. Thank you, Tim. In Portland, firefighters say they responded to hundreds of fireworks-related calls despite a ban in the city. Portland Fire Rescue got more than 600 calls yesterday. Half of them involved fireworks. That put a major strain on the department. Fire investigators will be looking into all fires related to fireworks.
And as we suffer through this heat wave locally, planet-wide, a record has fallen 2 days in a row for the hottest average global temperature ever recorded. Ashley Grams is here. Ashley, I'm really curious, what's the number?
David, that number 62.9 degrees Fahrenheit. And while that may not seem that hot, you have to remember it's the global average. And right now, part of the Earth is experiencing winter. That number yesterday broke Monday's record, which shattered highs from 2016.
We hear the phrase record-breaking heat more often than not.
Not a surprise.
Erica Fleischman, the executive director of the Oregon Climate Change Research Institute, says all trends point to more records in the near future.
There will be many days in the future that are the hottest day.
Fleischman says there are a few causes, one being the fact that this year is an El Nino, typically a warmer weather pattern. But she says it's also due to global warming.
Emissions of heat-trapping gases from human activity are making Earth hotter. There are these natural climate oscillations regardless, but the overall trend toward hotter temperatures worldwide is largely a function of human activity.
As we continue to see more heat waves, there's a new way to track which neighborhoods in Multnomah County are most sensitive to the hot weather. It's called the Heat Vulnerability Index.
As you have more concrete, what are sometimes called, impervious surfaces, as you have more concrete, more buildings, less natural vegetation, those areas tend to retain heat more, so they're hotter.
The county says they're using this map to find out what areas need more help and county response during extreme hot weather. Fleischman says whether you agree with climate scientists or not, these records show it's time to make a change.
For everyone, regardless of what you believe, it's getting hotter. And there are a lot of actions that people can take individually in their communities, in their states, in their countries.
Now, these numbers are preliminary, and that's why it's an unofficial record. But experts say when you step back and look at trends over time, it's likely we'll continue to set more global records.
Yeah, records that nobody wants to break. Thank you, Ashley. This evening, we continue to keep a close eye on the Tunnel 5 fire burning in Skamania County. As of this morning, it's burned roughly 550 acres west of Hood River on the Washington side of the gorge. The size has not changed much in the past 48 hours, I should say. Neither has containment. It's still sitting around 5%. About 10 homes have now been destroyed, and evacuations remain in place in some areas. A nearby stretch of State Route 14 remains closed. I-84 on the Oregon side is your best alternate.
Stay with us for continuing coverage of the heat wave and wildfires. Look for the latest on air, online, on our social media pages, and on KGW+. You can also find a list of places to cool off on KGW.com.
In Portland, 2 people are dead and another 2 injured after a string of shootings overnight and in just a 2-hour time span. Let's bring in Mike Benner outside police headquarters downtown. Mike, any word on whether these could be connected?
Yeah, David, they're certainly looking into it. They'd be remiss if they did not. But as of right now, there's nothing to say these shootings are connected. Regardless, the violence is very concerning to both police and people living in the neighborhoods where it played out.
Randy Bush has lived in the Portsmouth neighborhood in North Portland since the late 70s. He says he's felt relatively safe until recently.
It's like Portland. All of Portland. It's going backwards.
Bush points to what happened early Wednesday morning near North Exeter and Willis. Officers responded to reports of a shooting just after 2:30, and they found one man dead.
I'm glad I didn't know who it was. I feel bad that it was in the neighborhood, close to home.
The shooting in North Portland was the third in a string of overnight shootings. The first was just before 1 a.m. at Northeast 131st Place in Sandy. Officers responding to reports of gunfire found a man dead. And about an hour later, at the Cracker Box Tavern on Northeast Lombard, 2 people were injured in a shooting, one of them critically.
It was an exceptionally busy night for pretty much everybody involved.
Sergeant Kevin Allen of the Portland Police Bureau says while the shooting calls did put a strain on Bureau resources, he says nothing compares to what the victims' families are going through.
And our hearts go out to the families of the victims and anybody who was a witness and anybody who was involved in this whole thing. What we want to do is to provide them as much closure as we can by getting to the truth about what took place.
Back in the Portsmouth neighborhood, Randy Bush is eager to know the truth as well, after a shooting near his house left one person dead.
Very, very unsettling.
Yeah, very unsettling indeed. It's worth mentioning that there have been no arrests in any of these cases. Detectives are asking anyone with information to pick up the phone and call the Portland Police Bureau. Back to you.